All right, guys, we are live, episode 123 of the Shooter's Mindset. Thank you guys for joining us. This is 123. I think last week's show I said 123, and then I looked, and it was actually show 122. But yeah, this is the official show 123, for those who care. I don't know. Dustin Plouffe in the house, though. What's going on, Dustin?
What's up, guys?
It's good to see you back there. Jennifer's back also, which we had to get a temp fill-in for her. What's going on?
Uh-oh.
And our audience. We were just talking about Google.
Yeah.
Hey, Jen, your mic's muted.
Google knows.
We see you laughing, but we can't hear you.
Nope, still nothing.
Yeah, Google knows all.
Jen, back out and come back in. Damn, Googles. Hey, but we have Tim Herron, Grandmaster Tim. What's going on, Tim?
Hey, guys, what's up? Thanks for having me.
Audio does work. We appreciate you coming on. Oh, man. It's funny how we were just talking about how Google sucks and the audio kind of is on and off for Tim. And
it always happens to me. Always. Every time I do a podcast with Ben and Matt, it's always me that it happens to, no one else. So it's kind of nice that it's not me this time.
Yeah, well, hopefully it holds throughout the show here. We got a good one coming up here. We're going to talk a lot about SIG, a lot about training. Yeah. Tim's got a good YouTube channel that seems to focus on showing you guys how to become a better shooter. So this is a good thing to have on. Jen, what's going on? Is your audio there?
Can you hear me?
All right.
I saw a lot of laughing, a lot of smiling, but we didn't hear you.
I said, why is it every time I've missed like twice in a year, and we had to find a last minute temp. Dustin misses and it's nothing.
Yeah.
I get the bad rap for like missing 1 week.
Yeah. Well, the thing is that I can run it with me and you. It's like, nobody really misses Dustin for some reason. I don't get it.
I'm better looking than Dustin. I've said that.
Very true. Very true.
This is false advertising.
All right, so let's kind of crank this one off. A show sponsored by Tactical Shit. Shop.tacticalshit.com for the latest, greatest tactical gear. Shirts, patches, ETS mags. Where is it at? Here you go. ETS mags, the kind of, I don't know, Insta-famous mags. If you want to get followers on Instagram, I guess ETS mags from Tactical Shit really help out, supposedly. Techwear USA for the finest jersey apparel, Techwell system, and 1911 grips and magwells, pretty stellar. If you guys are shooting single stack, their Techwell system is very good. So check out Techwear USA for that stuff. Brett Russo's always been a big supporter of the show, so if you see him, man, he's a really good dude. All right, opening show announcements. I got the Q&A section, bottom left-hand corner of the show. If you guys are new to the show, haven't used it, click on it. You can access your questions throughout the show here for Mr. Tim or for any of us. If you have questions for us, if you really care for our opinion, we'll try to answer it. All right. Also, the Shooter's Mindset app is available on Apple devices and Android devices. So Google Play Store, iTunes Store, download it. It's a big help towards us. All right. All right, Tim. For those who are unfamiliar with you, tell us a little bit more about yourself, maybe some something new accomplishments or goals. What's going on?
I'm Tim Herron. I've been shooting since 2010, actually. Actually, never even owned a firearm until February of 2010, so it's going on about 6 years now. I found USPSA pretty early after I picked up a handgun, and kind of started out as a C-class guy and moved up the ranks and achieved Grandmaster in single stack division with a 1911 back in 2013. So, and kind of just I like to give back to the sport. I like to train. I like to teach. Those are everything that and those have helped me throughout the years. Are kind of like I like to just return the favor. I like to be able to help new guys, and that's kind of the basis of my YouTube channel as well. So I've been shooting with Team Sig this will be the year number 2. So I was delighted to be chosen by Bruce Gray with Gray Guns to be selected for Team Sig, to be one of the kind of the pioneering first members of Team Sig, which has been awesome. So, and yeah, that's pretty much about me. So won a few area matches and things like that. I primarily shoot single stack. 1911s are kind of that's my forte. So.
Right on. So I mean, 2010. How did you? I mean, you said you found it very quickly. I don't think a lot of first-time gun owners kind of say, "All right, I got my first gun. 2010, we're just jumping to USPSA." I think there's some type of maybe some lack of a better term, a little bit of afraid. Maybe, hey man, I just bought a gun. I can't compete with those guys. I'm not good enough.
Yeah.
What do you say to those people?
I would say, for me, it was a little different. I spent 13, almost 14 years in SCCA, Sports Car Club of America, driving race cars. Dabbled a little bit in like track days and stuff like that, but primarily autocross. And it was like, I was pretty passionate about it. And just after, like I said, 13, 14 years, I just got a little burned out on it and was just looking for something different. Parked the race car in the garage, and it sat for a year or two. And I don't even know what it was about picking up a pistol. But it was just, I went shooting with a friend one time, and I was like, man, this handgun thing's kind of fun. And so I ended up buying a handgun that same day, and I was in upwards of shooting 100 to 200 rounds every single Saturday at my local indoor range. And quickly I got burned out on that, and it was one of those things where I was like, man, it would be really cool if there was like some sort of sport where you could, I don't know, go through an obstacle course or something and shoot things, to your left and to your right and reloads. And one of the guys that I had kind of met at the range and shot with a little bit was like, oh yeah, there is. It's this thing called IPSC. And I was like, what? What the hell is that?
Right.
And he said, well, the U.S. version is called USPSA. And he hooked me up with another range member at that indoor range that did quite a bit of USPSA stuff. And we kind of met and hung out a little bit, and he kind of took me under his wing and kind of showed me the sport, and that was it. Within like five months, the race car was for sale, and I got into shooting, and that's where I've been ever since.
Yeah. So you pretty much went balls to the wall on the shooting deal, probably like how you went with the race car driving thing, and then you just kind of grab a hobby and just run with it.
That's the secret to starting and shooting, then, is to have some other hobby that you've already put a lot of money in that you can sell the race car to be able to buy guns and ammo. Why did I not think of this?
Well, I'm that way. I'm just wired that way anyhow. Like, for me to have just a hobby, I'm not a hobbyist. I'm the type of person that I pour my heart and soul, blood, sweat, and tears into practice and training and being the best at what I can. The guys I work with joke that if I was to ever even take up paper airplanes, hell, I'd be teaching a class about how to make the best paper airplanes, within 2 weeks. I'm wired that way. I want to learn and know everything there is to know about something that interests me. I'm a student first, so those kind of things. I think that's where shooting really got me. And, driving race cars, I was also instructing for a many number of years with a nationally renowned autocross performance driving academy. And so it was kind of one of those things, like shooting for me was learning something all over again and being the student of a sport again, which that's what's primarily been the biggest interest for me, and that's why I'm so big into training and practicing too. So it's neat. It's a journey for sure.
Yeah, funny thing is that every time I wear my jersey outside, we leave the match, we'll go to Walmart or something or whatever, they always say, "You're a NASCAR driver?"
Yeah.
Really? I hear bicyclist. Are you?
No. Indeed,
Yeah.
I am, ma'am. Indeed, I do race cars. And would you like to have a beer with me later tonight?
Or motocross. I get Do you race motorcycles? You're like, no.
I've been asked quite a bit. All those kind of bicycling, especially.
Yeah,
but,
the bicycling is the biggest
I haven't
thing.
got that one yet.
Yeah,
And I
bicycling.
think it's funny because, like, if they read what your jersey says,
They would know.
That's what I was going to say. There's been a few times that I like to shoot in the South because of barbecue and sweet tea. So we'll go into a barbecue place, and there's always like one good old boy, little black. Springfield, I got one of them. Or he's like, oh, I like to shoot too. You're like, yeah, I actually kind of do it. So I know with jerseys with some certain logos on them, people will start, looking at them real close, and then they'll find something they see.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny.
So those black guns, those things are bad. Yeah. All right, we have Steve Moneypenny's in here saying, what car did you race and what class did you race in?
Oh my gosh. I was probably most known for what was used to be called C Stock. It was a stock class car. I raced a 2000 Toyota MR2 Spider for a number of years. Placed top 3 in the nation in that car 2 of the 3 years I owned it. And then I sold that car, and God, I've driven and raced just about everything. My last car was a 91 Honda CRX that I raced in a street tire class, but you were allowed to do like pretty much all the ricer stuff that you'd kind of see on the street. You know, guys will have like lowered springs and shocks and all kinds of cool stuff, but like all of the shit I had on my car was to make it actually work on a track. So,
Yeah.
and I was fortunate enough to take a top 3, and the first year I took a top 5, and the third year with the car, God, I was sick with the flu horrifically, and I was actually picked to win that year at Nationals, and I ended up finishing a dismal 6th out of like 62 drivers. So, and by then I was like, I'm just done. I'm so burned out. You know, I was racing like 30 to 35 events a year all over the country, and finally I just had enough. So.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that stuff kind of happening, man. A lot of traveling kind of burn you out.
Definitely.
A lot of training burn you out a little bit. All right, so we're going to kind of switch gears off the racing thing. We'll probably come back to it, of course. But USPSA stuff, and I was watching a video. I think it was from the Florida Open. It was a Team Glock. Shane Cooley was running a stage. Some guy got some great footage of him. And I've heard kind of both sides of this story. And he would walk through a stage, and he did it in slow motion. And I wanted to get your opinion on this. Do you walk a USPSA stage in slow motion, or do you do it at the pace you would shoot it in?
I do it both, actually. So, you know, the first walkthrough, you know, stage walkthrough, basically you want to pick like your stage markers, you know. So like arrays of things. If I have to go over here, okay, I want to plan up and post right here so I can see these targets, and then post over here and see these targets. And then, of course, I'll start to look through on like certain things that really draw my visual attention to, like markers on markers that I can use on the stage to know where to put my feet, or where to, you know, like maybe where to start aiming the gun as I break around a corner of a wall to start engaging targets, things like that. And then once I kind of get those things, you know, memorized or in my head and visualized, then I'll walk through the stage kind of at a slow motion pace, and then I'll definitely want to, you know, to walk the stage as if I were actually making a balls out run too. So, you know, I do it all kinds of speeds, and then if I can't come back off the stage after that and close my eyes and visualize exactly what that run is going to look like to me, you know, if I miss something or something just didn't look quite right, then I'll go back and I'll walk the stage again. So.
Yeah.
What's
your take on that?
I was going to say, one question off of that is, you know, you always have that stage, that game plan, and then 2 guys in front of you does something and just burns it down, and they did something different. Mm-hmm. Do you ever audible stuff?
No, I try not to. It seems like anytime that I try to call an audible on something like that, it always comes back to bite me in the ass. And it simply goes back to, you know, run the stage plan that you came up with, because that's what you've programmed. You know, that's what you visualized. And at the end of the day, honestly, I mean, I've seen shooters run a stage a multitude of different ways, and all of them literally within, you know, 2 to 3 tenths of a hit factor have the same hit factor. It actually always generally boiled down to points or a total of time, obviously a combination of the two, but somebody might have run it at, you know, 2 tenths of a second faster but had, you know, 3 points less on it than somebody else that might have been 2 tenths of a second slower but had 5, you know, was able to garner 5 extra points on it. So at the end of the day, it really goes down to come up with a plan that you know that you can execute, and that's it. Stay with that. So, yeah, I mean, a couple of shooters in, I won't even watch, you know, 2 shooters ahead of me in my squad shoot the stage. I don't care who they are. I won't, because I don't want their game plan to screw up my game plan.
That's interesting stuff. Jen, you have any take on that? You shoot a lot of USPSA locally, right?
I do more 3-gun than USPSA, but I agree. I don't ever change my plan, because the times that I've been like, oh, that looks like a great idea for that person that shoots differently than I do, And then I get up there and I bomb it, or I forget. I do much better to do my own plan, and that's something that like I just kind of in the last year have learned to do, and that's not listen to other people, because I've had a lot of people come up and say, "Oh, you should do it this way," and I'm like, no, I have my reasons for why I'm doing it, and I think at first I would change. Oh, well, maybe I should do it that way. And
you're exactly right.
it took me a while to get that confidence of like, and I'm not the greatest shooter in the world by any means. I'm not a grandmaster, but I know what I can do, and just because they are going to do it this way doesn't mean that it's what's best for me to do.
Exactly right. And you want to stick to the game plan that you know that you can confidently 100% of the time execute. That's it. I mean, if you're trying to execute somebody else's game plan, and let's say they're a little better on transitions, or they've got faster footwork, or they're able to time like an activator sequence better than you can, well, what the hell makes you think you're going to be able to step up to the plate and swing for the fences like the shooter ahead of you did? You've got to know your strengths and weaknesses and play your game to your strengths.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I know if you get squatted with a super squad, or you got a few pro shooters that you know that you get squatted with, I've definitely pulled off stuff that have been well above my head that somehow I pulled it off. And then I've also completely fell straight on my face many times, more than pulled anything off. So when you see somebody do something, you're like, that's cool, I'm just going to go ahead and shoot that one popper there, and then go ahead and hit that activator.
Exactly.
There was a match.
It would be cool that you could, if you could shoot the same stage like twice, and then you could, like, I'm going to take the time number 1 or time number 2, so you could shoot one stage conservatively, and then just turn around and just go crazy and just hose it down. That'd be kind of a cool aspect, but
that would be fun. Yeah, there was one stage at Warsport that which was 3-gun, but I had planned out and walked through and positioning, and it had the long range out to like 430 yards, and I had my plan. I was going to do a reverse kneel on the barricade, and I was good to go because I didn't think my mag would fit well in the prone position, and so I had my whole plan, and I sat there and watched every single person, including a bunch of pros, drop prone, and I was like, I'm sitting there, I'm the 15th shooter on the stage, and I'm like, maybe I need to go prone. Everybody else is going prone. Maybe that means I'm not going to hit these going reverse kneel. I haven't done that much long range. I'm doing the wrong thing. Anyway, I stuck with my plan because I was like, no, don't change. And I went 1 for 1 on the long range steel. It was slow, but I went 1 for 1. I was happy.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had my fair share of disasters when it comes to doing. On a local level, I'm the guy who likes to have a lot of fun. So if some guy throws a burning down time, I'm like, dude, I'm gonna beat that.
He's like, I'm gonna trump that dude.
I'm gonna beat that time, and more likely it comes out to bite me in the ass, man. Like we'll do a build drill, and I'll shoot more rounds than I was supposed to, or something like that, or something, and then I'll get a penalty, and I'll just ruin the whole.
Or you get on the gun too early, and it's like, oh my god, I threw one in the dirt, 3 feet in front of the target. Oh yeah. We've all been there.
It's fun. I don't do that type of stuff at a major though. I won't do it. I'm a real quiet dude. Like I'm just kind of in the zone. Don't bother me. I'll shake your hand high, but that's about it. All right. Let's see. We're gonna move on to the Sig Sauer deal. Obviously, you said you're a part of Team Sig, which the team has really grown. Even they're picking up more members. Hakeem from IDPA Indoor Nationals just announced that he was part of the team too. So it's like.
Yeah. From
there's
the
a lot of
exchange.
Yeah, there's a lot of new guys coming in there from variety, IDPA guys, USPSA guys, kind of the whole deal. So they at SHOT Show, where we all were, Sig announced a lot of new firearms, not only rifles but pistols. We're going to talk about the pistols here today.
Okay.
So your thoughts on the P210 and the P320 RX? Your initial thoughts.
The P210, that's been a dream pistol of mine basically since I got into shooting handguns. So it's really cool to see that gun actually be now made in the United States. It's made at the plant in Exeter, which is really cool. So whereas before there was such a I can't remember the word I'm really looking for, but like with taxing and shipping to get that gun from Germany to the United States. I mean, that gun had a price point. I mean, just a standard P210 was like a price point of like $2,700 or something like that. I mean, it was crazy. And now having that gun made in the United States, availability is going to be a lot easier to be able to get on U.S. soil. Build quality, what I saw at SHOT Show was insane. I mean, I don't think the gun missed a beat compared to what they had, with the old German models or even the early Swiss model T210 was. But the price point was super awesome because now you're looking at a gun that's was $2,800. It's now price point at about $1,300. So, and you can get a P210 Target, which has got the adjustable sights, the really cool wood grips on it, and everything for like $1,500. So, and they did kind of tell me that there was supposed to be a 6-inch version of that gun, I guess, that will be like a super match that will be coming out, I'm figuring probably late this year or early next year. So, but yeah, I can't wait to wrap my hands around one of those on my very own. So, pretty excited about that.
So it's definitely a target gun. It has your target style grips on it. It's a single stack 9mm.
Yep, it's definitely a niche gun. It's not for everybody. It'd be something really cool for like a guy that likes to shoot Bianchi or action pistol, something like that. Maybe some older shooters that like to shoot PPC or something. But I mean, it's definitely for me. It's one of those. I dabble a little bit in NRA action pistol, but which is probably what I would use the gun for. But other than that, it'd just be a really cool target and plinking gun. So.
Yeah, I've shot one of the old German police issued versions. And it actually had like the crest and stuff on the side.
Oh, and,
it was different because you're like, oh, it's like a 226. Oh wait, no, it's not.
It's nothing like it. Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah.
So the other new product, obviously from Sig in the handgun market, is the P320 RX, which is the optic ready gun, which has got the I believe it's equipped with the Romeo 1, which is it's Sig's own brand. They're not like remarketed or rebranded somebody else's optics. Sig does all of their own in-house optics now and all their own glass, which is really cool. They've been doing a little bit of like extra testing on that gun before the gun is truly released after SHOT Show, just to ensure that the reliability of that optic is able to last and hopefully stand the test of time. So they're talking anywhere between like 20 and 30,000 rounds on that with like plus P type ammo, and that glass that optic being able to withstand that type of usage. So.
Yeah. So the cool thing about this is a lot of companies, everybody's coming out with an optic ready kind of version pistol, but they're not coming with the optic on it. So the Sig is actually coming at pretty affordable, and it's coming with the optic ready to go. So you're kind of just get a holster. It probably even comes with a holster. I believe it does.
Yep.
So you're kind of ready to go. I mean, some people might want a better holster. I don't know, whatever that is. I never tried their holster that comes out the box. But you're pretty much set to go. So if you want to shoot production optics or carry optics, they're calling it carry optics.
Whatever the hell that.
Yeah, whatever they're doing. But and the 320 is really catching some ground, man. I'm really starting to hear people kind of buzz about it. They're like, man, this gun's freaking awesome. So
definitely.
So there you go. I got a Q&A here. I don't know if I'll leave this up to you if you want to talk about it. But this is from I'm just gonna say Thumbless Korean is his name. He says, what kind of deal are you getting from being sponsored by Sig Sauer? And how do you get sponsorship? So if you don't want to discuss your deal, what's some sponsorship recommendations?
Well, getting the sponsor, I was really surprised. I had a local ammunition company that had sponsored me basically since I was a C/B class shooter, and kind of had been with me. The guy is a really good friend of mine. And it just kind of followed me up the ranks as I made my way and became a better shooter and competed. The Sig Sauer thing kind of just took me by surprise because it was, literally, I think Sig had kind of given Bruce Gray a kind of the reins of being able to kind of choose and select his own members for the team. And he kind of gave me a call one day on Facebook, asked for my phone number, and called me and offered me a position with the team. I, at that point in time, had no realization what I was getting myself into, or what the expanse of the team was going to be, or how large it was going to be, and what kind of things that Sig was going to provide. But it's been fun. As far as how somebody gets a sponsorship, I would like to think, and I know that Bruce has made this very clear, that he didn't really look at it from the ranks of a shooter first. He wanted definitely like very personable people, people that were well respected, just not only just in the shooting community, but just well respected in general. They were very professional, or very kind, or very willing to help and open. Obviously just good people first and foremost, more so than just okay, is that guy a baller shooter? Great, we'll offer him a shirt and a gun. So which is really good, because we've got a team full of great personalities and awesome and open and helpful people. The expanse of the sponsorship itself, I mean, they offer me jerseys. We've got quite a few subsidiary sponsors that help out too, or associate sponsors. So like Blade Tech is on board with the team, and Blade Tech's able to help us with some holsters and belts and mag pouches and things like that. Sig provides us some great support with obviously the P320. I know I'm primarily a single stack guy, so like 1911s, they were able to help me and get me a backup 1911, so I could continue shooting single stack. We've got a ESS Eyewear who's does all of our iPro for us, and they really stepped up to the plate and helped out all the team and providing eyewear for everybody. It's been really cool. Obviously, all the specifics I'm not really at liberty to discuss on everything, but yeah, I mean it's been really cool. So
there you go. Just so pretty much Tim is set. Just go out there and shoot and be professional.
That's
there you go.
That's exactly right. I mean, in my respects, I didn't have to go out looking for it, which is
always great.
And I'm, honestly, I'm a nobody. It's not like I've won multiple national championships and can just kind of lay my grandmaster card down on the table and expect sponsors to just come flocking to it. It was something that was still, a sponsorship is hard earned, and it is definitely rewarding when a company or a manufacturer kind of seeks you out. So
that's awesome. We have one on Facebook here. I'm just throwing something quick on Facebook. I know a lot of guys, they have a personal Facebook page or whatever, and they start friending all these guys in the industry, and he has a gun in his profile, so let me go ahead and send him a friend request. But I'm telling you, be professional on the Facebooks and stuff, because I swear, you never know. The least guy you expect that's watching, he might not like your stuff, he might not ever comment, but they're looking for you, man. And I'm telling you, I've been some oddball posts, and I'll have some company guy just say, "Hey, man," out of the blue, and I didn't even know he was the CEO of the company. I was just friends with him.
And that's honestly how it happened for me. So
just a little tip there.
Same thing with matches. Same thing with the NRA show or SHOT Show. Like, you never know who you're sitting around talking to or having a beer with. It might be the owner of XYZ company. So I always try to be a nice guy to most people.
There you go. Jen, you have one on Facebook you want to hit?
All right. Tony Paul says, Tim, I have my first ever USPSA match March 20th. I'm using my Glock 17 in production. I also have a CZ75B I could use with the safety and limited later this year. What is your opinion on Glock simplicity versus the single action accuracy of hammer fired?
Honestly, I don't think it really matters much. I've shot kind of the gamut when it comes to all the different production striker fired guns. I've had a CZ SP01 Shadow. I've had Glock 17s. Kind of relegated myself now to the Sig P320. Go with what you're most consistent with, what you shoot the most, or what you're the most comfortable with. That's what you should compete with. So I mean, to say that there's a trick unicorn or a trick pony out there that you should spend a ton of money on and buy, and that's going to instantly make you a magical great shooter, nothing could be further from the truth. So I mean, a lot of guys kind of struggle with the CZ75 because of the fact that it's double action, single action, when they're used to more of a just a simple striker fired gun that the trigger is consistent every single pull. And if that's the case, go with the Glock. I mean, there's lots can be won, and lots have been won with striker fired guns. So you're not doing yourself a disservice to shoot the Glock 17 if that's what you're most confident with.
Yeah, and I think if your match is coming up, you should be probably focused on something else. If it's close by, oh, what gun should I shoot? I think you should have probably picked one by now, run with it, do your dry fire drills, do your live fire training, and just run with it, man. I've been shooting. You know how many times I wanted to buy the new stock 2 because all the ballers were using it, and I always played with it in my head, like, man, I need to get one of those guns. You know what I mean? But look right here, it's still here, the same gun I bought 5 years ago. All right, yep. This is the first gun I've competed with, and it's still the one I compete with today. So here you go. I like fancy things though, but yeah.
Oh yeah, who doesn't?
There you go.
Yeah, you just like getting new toys.
Yeah.
Hey, and I have to give a shout out to Joshua Doss because he said, "Hello, beautiful TSM people, and welcome to the show, Tim Herren." And Joshua will get you some eye exams later.
I think you're dead on. I'm just saying.
I guess we can, Dustin, you got anything or anything you want to kind of...
There was one kind of off of that, kind of talking about different guns. So since you shoot some different divisions and stuff like that, do you find it hard to switch mid-season or every match to shoot a different division? Or would you try to stick with one division for each year? I know I switched from like ESP to SSP one year and then to CCP this year. Primarily I shoot IDPA, so... But I will shoot a USPSA this year, area match. So, but do you find it hard, or what do you try to stick with?
Primarily, I have been a steadfast 1911 guy in single stack. So, I mean, that is, like I said, that's my forte. That's what I love. That's what I enjoy. It's what I started with. It's just that's truly where my passion in the sport is kind of revolves around is 1911s. Last year, like I said, I've kind of dabbled in production before. Last year was my first kind of, I guess you could kind of say, semi-serious run at some production. I shot single stack up until like June, and then swapped the gun over and went to the P320 to basically shoot like one area match, and 2 weeks later I was shooting production nationals. So for me, yes, I can speak from experience and say that I did not and do not like switching guns mid-season. I know a lot of guys will shoot single stack and they shoot single stack till May. Single stack Nats is over, and then it's like, okay, then they go to their whatever their normal standard division is throughout the rest of the year. For me, I'm just not wired that way. It was a pretty hard transition, even though as well as the 320 shoots, and it has nothing to do with the gun or anything like that. It was to me, it was just kind of learning a different game. Production, you're shooting minor. Your 10 rounds minor versus single stack is 8 rounds of major. It's points and scoring, how you break down stages is a little different. Accountability for each shot is a little bit different in single stack versus production. I mean, there were things that were similar. There were so many other things that were so dissimilar. It made it a steep learning curve for me to try to pick that gun up in a month and do well with it. So I'm more of a kind of pick what you want to do at the beginning of the year and just kind of stay with it, right? What do you want to set your goals on doing the best with, and then stick with that division and don't stray from it. So
yeah, I got to shoot the same gun for at least a whole season, a whole year, to be halfway decent with it. Switching to this new one, which is I'm shooting my 3.8, very short little gun. It was definitely a learning curve. The first match, I was like, what the hell am I even doing?
Yes.
So round count is off on those CCP guns.
I know, that was the thing. Like my first stage, I think I went dry, and I was like, click, wait, I'm supposed to have 2 more rounds. All my mags are loaded bad.
What's the mag? It's the same thing with 1911s in that game.
Yeah, same thing as CDP. So you're 9, 8, and 8. Or, 9, 8 in the mag, 1 in the gun, 8 and 8 on your hip. So walking a stage, everybody, 80% of your squad mates are shooting SSP or ESP. There's that one dude who's shooting CDP, the one oddball revolver dude, and then you shooting a little micro pistol. Whenever when you pull it out of your holster, the guy's like, "Is that your CCW gun?" I'm like, "Yes, actually it is."
You can't use anybody's game plan or anything. It's over. You just throw at that point. Yeah.
And then you can't really compare yourself to anybody, too. So you're like, did I burn that stage down? I'm not really sure. Or did I really do horrible? I'm a second behind everybody. What the hell? Oh, yeah, I had 2 reloads, and everybody else had 1. Or no reloads.
Right.
So.
All right, here. I think we can jump into the lightning round. We're going to feed more stuff into the SIG 320 stuff. We're going to talk a little bit more about the new SIG stuff. But lightning round, some quick yes or no, one or the other. Kind of silly stuff here, Tim.
Okay.
If you can only choose one or the other, is it a battle belt or a tactical vest to go into a tactical environment with?
Battle belt.
Yeah, whatever a tactical environment is. I don't
know. More money, Pinkus.
Yeah. MMA or boxing? If you had to watch one or the other.
I'm a boxer. I'm into boxing.
Really? Do you still watch it though? Because it's boring as shit now. Oh man, it just.
I don't know. That last MMA match was kind of boring as hell too. So.
Yeah.
For the Bellator.
Oh, that's a joke. That's like WWE of the MMA world. That's what I was saying. All right. White bread or wheat bread?
Wheat bread.
Wheat bread. Jameson or Jack Daniels?
Oh God, neither, because neither one actually comes from Kentucky, and neither one is a bourbon. So I guess if I had to choose, I'd probably be a Jameson guy because it's an Irish whiskey. That'd work.
Fair enough. In-N-Out Burger or Five Guys? We gotta ask this question.
Oh my God, it's been so long since I've had In-N-Out, but I'd have to say In-N-Out.
Yes.
All right. Bruce Lee, Chuck Norris get into a fight. Who do you have winning?
Bruce Lee.
Bruce Lee. Thin Mints or Samoa Girl Scout cookies? What do you have?
Thin Mints. Thin Mints from the freezer.
There you go.
Yes.
Dude, what's up with this? This is like a trick I never heard of.
Man, they're awesome in the freezer.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yes.
Somebody did post up on the Shooter's Mindset page something about like they're online now, or something about you can buy Girl Scout cookies online, or the orders are taking now, or something like that.
Oh yeah, Amazon. Yeah, you can go on Amazon and purchase some authentic Girl Scout cookies if they're not out your local groceries.
That's rough.
Awesome.
It's kind of sketchy when you're looking on Craigslist for Girl Scout cookies.
Yeah. What do we got? More cookie stuff. Oreos or Chips Ahoy?
Oreos.
Oreos, agreed. Forward assist or no forward assist on your
AR? Since I'm a sporting shooter and not a face shooter, I would say no forward assist.
I agree. Screw it. No one uses that shit.
Right.
Tell me. No one. I have 3 builds that don't have it anymore.
See? Yeah.
What told me? The military guys told me screw that shit, and I was like, well, if they ain't gonna use it, I'm never gonna need it.
Right. It wasn't the forward assist originally. It was like because of like really shitty powder that they used in Vietnam.
Yeah.
So
and they weren't lubing their guns. They were told don't lube the M16. You're like, what?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. So there you go. Pete, I don't know. I know you're not into the AOR stuff, but it's on here. Hex Mag or PMags?
PMags.
Yeah, no one cares on these. And I don't know. I have black nitride or titanium nitride coatings. So it's the gold stuff versus the black stuff.
Nah, black.
Yeah,
that gold stuff's too blingy. I'm kind of out on that.
Simple side. All right, well, that's the lightning round of the day. That was a pretty solid one here.
Hey, Robin Tater put on Facebook, each week we ask the guests their favorite Girl Scout cookie. I want to know which beer they pair it with.
Ooh.
Girl Scout cookies and beer.
My favorite, God, the beer. I think the beer I probably, I'd probably pair it with everything. I'm a Boulevard guy, which is a local Kansas City brewery here. So they make a Boulevard unfiltered wheat, and then they have a smokestack series, which are kind of like one-off special seasonal beers. And they have a bourbon barrel quad, which is pretty freaking phenomenal.
Wait a second. Are you from the great state of Missouri?
I am. Kansas City.
How were we not best friends? I'm St. Louis.
Oh man!
Did we just become best friends?
Yes,
He's been hiding from you, man. He was trying to not let you know.
The different circles, USPSA and the IDPAs. So, yes. Well, maybe we'll have to team up now.
Definitely.
They don't clash. They don't do too much clash.
Run, Tim, run.
That's what he said, I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
I've had
What's
that.
up with the pen, Dustin?
Yeah,
I
it's
don't
like
know.
it's
I
Keep
found it on my
showing
desk.
this ink pen, and I'm like,
I found it on the desk, on my desk. I just got random stuff on my. I'm like, hey, look at this thing. That's a cop. Hey,
yeah.
look at this thing. It's a stapler. I don't know.
Yeah.
I've been
All right.
trying to put stuff away.
So what are we going to do? We're going to talk about, I don't know. Well, since we're talking about the state of Missouri, I know, Tim, you offer some training. I believe, is it in that state that you're doing, or are you moving around?
Matt Hopkins and I, because Hoppy's a local Kansas City guy with me as well. But Matt and I had trained. We did two big 2-day training classes last year to kind of get our feet wet doing the whole training thing. And this year, I would like to do some traveling around and maybe hitting different states, different cities, things like that, and setting up and doing some training. I had a lot of fun teaching last year, and something I kind of found I was pretty good at. So, again, kind of an extension from my YouTube videos and stuff, but actually getting kind of one-on-one training time with, a small number of students. We generally hold the classes and try to limit them to 10 or 12 students and do 2 full days. We do everything from kind of a basics of USPSA to, and we offered an advanced class that we did last fall that was a resounding success. So it's been a lot of fun.
There you go. Are you still doing it? Can we check it out if we wanted to book a class? Or
Yeah, definitely. Most of the time, we tell everybody on the Practical Pistol Show to go to Matt Hopkins, hopkinsshooting.com. He's got the actual website. I'm not cool enough to have my own named website yet. I definitely am very, very active on Facebook, so it's one of those things where I would just as soon everybody contact me just through Facebook. Shoot me a PM or something, or hit me up on my page, and we can set something up and make it happen.
there you go, Dusty. You got a class.
I might have to hit you up. Yeah. No, actually, I am the chief range director dude at the new range called The Range in Baldwin in St. Louis. And we're supposed to be I'll be bringing in some of my buddies to guest star every quarter. And then also every quarter we're supposed to be bringing in some industry days. So I might have you come in on the SIG day, sir.
Oh, that'd be fantastic, yeah.
So I'll have to hit you up.
Definitely.
There you go.
Definitely.
Done and done. All right. What do we have here?
Making connections.
Yeah, there you go. So Hopkins shooting for a class. Bruce Gray's been doing some awesome work with the 320. Is there any new enhancements? I know he's kind of been leaking some stuff on Facebook that you can talk about. And what package do your 320 have?
The newest enhancement, which is basically what the team gun triggers are, is Bruce's new drop-in trigger kit that's going to be available. He's hoping for a release date of like March 1st. Obviously, that date could be, plus a week or two before it's really ready to go. But I know it's supposed to be the month of March. He was wanting to have those released and ready for sale. And basically, it's everything that or should be just about everything that he did to our team guns as far as enhancing the team gun action system on them. So the nice triggers that we got on all of our gray guns, tuned guns, are basically available in just a nice little package that you'll be able to swap in at home. So our gray guns that we have for the team guns not only have the enhanced action with the shortened trigger pull and everything on them, or the lighter trigger pull, but also like the fat guide rod that he offers with you can actually tune the recoil with the 1911 recoil springs as well. So, and I know he's already got those available. You can get those at like Top Gun Supply or through Gray Guns. And the trigger packages are going to be the same way. And I think the trigger packages he's got might include 2 different styles of trigger shoes. One will be a curved trigger, and the other one will be more of a flat trigger, kind of similar to like what Apex has, but it'll be able to swap the shoe over, which looked pretty cool. So. And it should have about an entry price of around $295, $300, I think. I hope I hope I'm not speaking out of term there, but I'm pretty sure that's what everything was kind of talked about and released at SHOT Show. So if I'm wrong, I apologize. But kind of going off just based on what.
Just
what
go
we
to
were
Great
kinda
Guns
explaining
yourself
to
and
SHOT,
check your
so.
shit out. Just go over there to Great Guns and check it out for
Definitely.
yourself. I believe that price sounds right to me because I remember looking at it. So it's
Okay.
ballpark 200, 300 range if you want like the enhancement action package deal from Bruce Gray. If you have a 320, you want to be cool like Tim, throw all the stuff in there. Let's see. Jen, you had one you wanted to hit on Facebook, and then we can go into Discount Corner or something.
Yes, I don't know how to say this name. Nick Yanatola?
Nick Yanatola.
I'm saying that because I have a feeling this question is loaded, and I wanted you to know who it comes from. He wants me to ask Tim whether he prefers to exit out the back of the stage or walk back up through the middle during walkthrough.
Exit out the back of the stage. If I have to hear that one more time, I'll get punched square in the face by Matthew Hopkins. So
I figured that there was a story, so I thought I'd pick that one.
That's kind of been the running 2016. Damn it, we're gonna teach these shooters how to do their stage walks better. Like it annoys Hopkins to no end to have a guy like do the whole stage walk and then turn back around and walk back up through the whole line of shooters that are wanting to walk the stage. And it's like, dude, get the hell off the damn stage and let us take a look at the stage. So that's been Matt's that's his 2016 tour speech is get the hell off, exit the back of the stage and come out. So
gotta have goals.
Yes.
Goals.
Thank you, Nick.
Yeah. What do we have?
There's another one. Bruce Keeler asked, major versus minor in single stack and why?
That's such a loaded question. God, if I answered that question anymore, it's going to be so match dependent. If you shoot a match that's known to have a lot of steel, stages that are known to have 8-round steel arrays or a lot of paper and steel or hard targets where stages just break down easier with 10 rounds, then yes, you want to shoot minor. If everything is pretty well an 8, 8, 8, and 8 kind of stage breakdown, like on a 32-round field course or things like that, you want to go for as many points as possible. Therefore, shoot major. So I've got both a minor and a major gun. So, and I don't travel anywhere to a major match that I go to without bringing both, just so I can walk the stages and then determine beforehand, am I going to shoot minor or am I going to shoot major? So, if in doubt, always shoot major because major points are definitely worth more than maybe the one saved extra reload or the one extra target you might have been able to engage shooting minor.
All right, here. I had one here from rumblestrip.net. I lost the question, but I kind of reminded. He's like, Are you going to grab the new 320 RX and shoot carry optics just to piss off Ben and Hopkins?
If Sig is gracious enough to send me one of those, even if it's just to play locally, oh yeah, I'll shoot one right next to Hopkins shooting his PCT, his pistol caliber carbine. So just so he can shoot PCC and I'll shoot carry optics just so we can have some fun.
I like PCC though. I want to see that really go through.
PCC I think would be pretty damn awesome. Yeah.
I already want one of those. I was talking to Hopkins at SHOT Show about that CZ thing, the CZ carbine, the 9mm. I'm like, dude, that's just perfect. Yeah, it's perfect for it. Well, not the pistol one. We have to go through all the BS SBR stuff, but they have one with a rifle length, full rating.
Yeah, full length.
I think it's coming out like April. I thought he said so, like NRA showish.
I'm just gonna get my SBR and call it good.
Or you can do that. Well, I don't like to go to the BS. Honestly, I'd just rather buy and go. What's it? We have more from RumbleShip.net. Was it me? You can buy them on Amazon. Raise a glass to of Buffalo Trace to you, Tim.
Buffalo Trace? That's good stuff. Definitely.
There you go. Yeah, you can buy them on Amazon. I saw a link somewhere, and then I was like, Jesus, people are buying Girl Scout cookies on Amazon. All right. We're going to go Discount Corner. Jen, you want to start us off?
Sure, we have from Samson Manufacturing. You can get 10% off of anything there. The website is www.samson-mfg.com, and you can get great scope mounts that are not $475.
Yeah. You can get all your AR goodies. I tell you what, I don't even know if that discount works anymore, so go ahead and buy something and let me know.
Yeah, somebody tell us.
Tell me if it works, all right? Just go ahead and buy something right now and tell me if that code works. I don't know. It should. We weren't told it doesn't work, so. All right, but let me see. Let me hit a couple. Shop.tacticalshit.com. TSM10 saves you 10% off your entire order. They kind of have everything. They have shoes now, like not even shooting shoes.
Yeah.
Casual, just go out to the mall shoe.
Those will be mine soon.
Wow.
I'll have a pair.
Yeah. What do you got?
Pretty much, I was like, yes, I need to rock some of those TJ stat. I mean, so I will have a pair soon.
So if you want some ETS mags, the clear stuff, whatever, they have them there too, 10% off. They patches, shirts, you name it, they got it all over at tacticalshit.com. Let's see. TSM, I got some ammo here. TSM 5% off. TeamFMM.com. So that's Fort Mill Munitions. They're just focusing on the shooters, man. So they're premium match-grade ammunition, new Starline brass, a good projectile in there. I believe they're using Precision Delta right now, and they're at the floor you want. So you tell them, hey, I'm shooting major single stack, or I'm shooting production, and he has it already chronos. He's guaranteeing chrono, and boom, they're smoking. They're ready to go. So who aren't reloading and just want to spend a dime on some quality ammo. Dewey Rods, DeweyRods.com, TSM 15. So now it's 15% off, not 10% off. So if you need a 3-gun cleaning kit or whatever, DeweyRods.com has it. So go check those out. I got TerranTacticalInnovations.com, TSM 10, 10% off. If you want a brand new freaking Benelli M2, you at least get 10% off that ballin' price tag. You're gonna rank up. All right. And Dustin, what do you have?
I got Dustin 10 gets you 10% off of X products, any of your goodies there. So your side chargers, your 9mm side chargers, your drums. They just came out with the 7.62x39, the AK drum. Also the cannon, and then the 308 cannon should be shipping pretty soon. Dustin will get you 10% off. Boom, Comtech holsters. Look at that. So Dustin will get you 10% off of those guys. I'll be getting my Q-line stuff to show off, and I know we'll be carrying it at the range now. So yeah, those are the two that I got. Hit me up if you need anything Black Nitrited, and I'll get you the code for that.
Yeah, exclusive code for that. Tim, you got any discount codes or anything like that?
They're in the works right now trying to get us discount codes for the team, and I think a lot of it has to do with the expanse of the team, on how hard it is to get everybody kind of on board at the exact same time to hand out discount codes. I would say definitely, though, if you got any kind of SIG stuff you want upgraded at all, whether it be the P320 or any other firearm from the SIG line, definitely contact Bruce Gray at Great Guns.
Yeah. Tell him Tim sent you, and he said give him 15% off.
Yeah, that'll
there
work.
You go. 15% off. I was supposed to say
Go for
50.
25.
Yeah, 25.
Yeah. 10
just
on the team now. That's weird. I don't know.
For some reason, they now said they're going to make you start paying for your sponsorship. We don't know why.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Everybody send Bruce.
But we're all getting great deals out of it, so go ahead. Do well, Tim.
Yeah. All right, that'll do it. I got umtactical.com. They got some AR stuff now. They're moving into the fully adjustable comps, the range CCS, TSM 10. Universal mount, so it's not in carry optics, so you can't use that mount. But if you're into one of those guys that don't want to mill your slide out or buy a gun ready, you can always just buy a mount from umtactical.com, and TSM10 will save you 10% off that. All right, kind of moving on, going back to the SIG stuff. We had one on USPSA, Dustin. You said on Facebook.
Yeah, so new to USPSA, and this is actually for me too. How long did it take you to get that whole freaking ratio thing, and what the hell am I doing on the stage, speed versus points versus what the hell is an alpha worth, all of that shenanigans. For us simple creatures that shoot IDPA, that I just literally go this, and then, okay, that's that. Or I shoot 3-gun, and I'm like, oh look, I shot it, and it's done.
Right.
We're moving on. So how long did that take, and what's the master secret for all of that?
It took me a little while, obviously, to get the hang of hit factor scoring. Basically, when you kind of break it down to its most simple form, what hit factor is, and everybody tries to look at percentages, and it's this and that, all hit factor really is points per second. That's it. So obviously, the highest number of points that you can achieve per second that it takes you to shoot the stage is going to be the winner. So you want to, and that's where the DVC, where speed and accuracy and power all come into play. So you've got power factor, obviously you shoot major or minor power factor. The available points are worth a little bit more for major. A's are still worth the same. Charlies and deltas are worth a little bit different depending on whether you're shooting major or minor. But it's all about just being able to get accurate hits as fast as possible. And then once you kind of just break it down to the most simplest form and just accurate hits as fast as possible, everything else just kind of works itself out.
Don't get deltas and mics. There you go.
Exactly. If you're allowing yourself to shoot a lot of deltas, I look at deltas as nothing more than a lucky miss. That's all a delta is, really. Because nobody aims for a delta, right? I mean, it's not like you purposely say, I'm going to aim and hit the edge of that target because that's where I want my rounds to go. Nobody aims at that, so why would you accept that as why would you allow that to be an acceptable hit? So those are lucky misses.
Yep. There you go. There you go on that. Following up with some more USPSA stuff, and then we'll jump into more of the SIG kind of lineup. Let's say a lot of people out there are in the situation: full-time job, family, kids, wife. They want to become they want to win a nationals or whatever. They want to be a world-class pistol shooter, whatever that goal is in their mind. So for those guys that are C, B, A class guys, how do they get to that level with all that on top of them?
I can speak from pure experience on this because I have a full-time job. I have a wife. I've got 3 kids. And I shoot most every available chance I get. I have followed since, laying the groundwork from the very beginning. I've followed Ben Stegger's books and advice that there is no such thing as too much dry fire. So with my available time kind of being a little limited with having a wife and kids and a full-time job and all, dry fire is where I have probably gained the most of my skill and skills development. So, and then I use basically being able to go to the range once a week and live fire as a test for how good my dry fire is. So, and then being able to shoot matches when I can to kind of be the test for the live fire portion of that. But yeah, I'm a firm believer and walking truth that dry fire does indeed work. So anybody that says that, that dry fire, it's only good for, maybe learning some trigger control or maybe just some manipulation like draws and reloads, that's bullshit. So there's not, with the exception of being able to put 2 holes or multiple holes in paper, you can do just about anything and everything that you can do in live fire, you can do in dry fire. Or you can at least work those same skills. Everything from trigger control to transitions to footwork to draws and reloads and different manipulation to, everything. I work everything hard as hell in dry fire, and then just relate everything I work in dry fire into my live fire and match performance. So it can be done.
There you go. So dry fire a lot and shoot the matches you can.
Yes.
And if you do it right, then there's a lot of reliable resources out there. There's books, there's DVDs, there's YouTube channels, you name it. So
and one of the biggest things too is just a lot of guys go through the motions and they think that just going through the motions is what gets them to the level that they want. And it has nothing to do with quantity of what it is you're doing if you're just going through the motions. It has to do with the level of quality that you allow yourself to have in all of your training, whether it's dry fire, whether it's live fire, whether it's matches. If you want to make yourself a better match shooter, then you've got to be able to be willing to take your local matches seriously. If you want to be able to get the most out of your training, then your training needs to be focused training. It can't just be, well, I'm going to go to the range and shoot 300 or 400 rounds, and I'll tinker with this, and I'll dick with that, and I'll play with this, and that's about it. No, it needs to be, I'm going there with this, and this as my reasons to go there, and those are my reasons of focus, and these are the things I'm going to work on, and learning from it. So, and that's the difference. That is what it really boils down to, is how driven or how focused you are as a shooter as to where you want to be or where you want to see yourself get. So if you're not really taking your practice and training seriously, you can't expect to get serious results.
There you go. Jen, you have any feed off of that?
I mean, I agree. I need to dry fire more. But I mean, I've just heard it, over and over and over again, that dry fire I think is more important than just going and putting lead down range that's pointless.
Mm-hmm.
There is a question on Facebook. Tony Paul, the one that's doing his first match in March, he wanted to know, Tim, if you have any general advice you wish you had before your first USPSA match.
Advice that I wish I'd had in my first match. Don't take yourself too seriously on your first match, honestly. Focus on safety more than anything, but don't take yourself so seriously that you think because it creates so much added pressure around you that then you almost can't have a good time because you're too focused on, I want to perform my best, instead of just, I want to learn this and have fun with it. And when you can kind of mix those two together, then the sport opens up a whole new world to you. Then you can really, once you've kind of gone through all the motions on your first match, then you can kind of relax a little bit and realize how much fun it is to actually learn what it takes to get good at it. But if you're so enveloping yourself in the pressure of, I don't want to screw this up, instead of just realizing that, man, you're going to make mistakes because you're brand new at it. So just you can't take yourself too seriously on your first match. Stay safe, listen to the RO, listen to experienced shooters. The entire squad that he's going to shoot with is going to be able to point him in the right direction. So that's the one thing about the shooting sports. It's like everybody there wants to see everybody else succeed. So
exactly. Yeah, that match after SHOT Show, there's a USPSA match and a 3-gun match that they put on at Pro Gun Club. I went over there, shot that USPSA match, and I don't know. I probably shot less than 24 USPSA matches, right? I primarily shoot IDPA, all around. I'll shoot dabble in some 3-gun, right? Mm-hmm. But there's this. As soon as we're walking up, we're waiting to start. I'm talking to this older gentleman, whatever. He was shooting a Glock 17. We were shooting the same production division, right? And we were talking to good guy, whatever. And then throughout the match, he was the first guy up. He said it was his second match. Eventually, that's what I got. He's like, yeah, this is only my second match. I've only been shooting such and such. And, he was the first guy up on this first stage, and he fucking bombs it, right? He bombed it. And then, and it's like stage 4, and he's like, man, I just want to hit all the targets, Back in stage 1, I had that mic, and I'm like, dude, this is a new stage here, man. This is a new stage, new day, man. Just focus on this stage. You're bringing over some bad shit for, and then you're talking to me about it,
Right.
It's not a.
He's making you carry his baggage.
Yeah, I'm like, that's what I told him was, dude, this is a new stage, man. That was stage 1. This is a new stage, man. Just focus on this one. Just do what you can. You know how to shoot, He wasn't a bad shooter. He was just kind of a little bit timid, but. That's what I know. A lot of big guys too, like Herren, and there's a couple guys that said this. They kind of, how you shooting? And then they're like, well, I got 2 alpha mics and fucking steel didn't go down because it wasn't whatever they call it. It wasn't calibrated, right? It wasn't calibrated.
Screw that.
Oh man.
You give him one word answer. That one word answer is good. That's it. Whether it's good or bad. Period. You need to tell yourself that if somebody asks you how you're shooting, I'm shooting good, and that's it. Because otherwise, if you start talking about like, well, I did this and I did that, and man, if I wouldn't have had this, I could have, would have, should have had this. That's you're basically taking that one small problem and you're pushing that problem or carrying that problem with you throughout the entire match. That problem just doesn't even get pushed from one part of the stage to the next. It gets pushed from that stage to the next stage to the next stage. Yeah. So it literally all starts with the same mindset. If somebody asks you how you're shooting, just I don't care if you feel like you're lying to them. Good, I'm shooting good. That's it. Pretty
good, yeah. Yeah, there you go. And, there was a rock there. I tripped over it, and there was a bird that pooped on me in stage 2. It's like, Jesus. Dude. All right.
I need to take that advice though, Tim. I shot a horrible match Saturday.
I'm sure with the ladies it's kind of worse because then you get the guys that want to come up to you and kind of train you mid-stage. It's like, hey, how you doing, young lady? I saw you drop that D over there.
Exactly. Well, and no offense to other ladies, but and I know you can attest to this. The women want to stay so close with each other all the time and want to help each other out that they become their own support group. You know, to like, oh, well, tell me how bad you had at this, and oh, man, that sucks, and oh, well, I'm sure, girl, I'm sure you'll get it better this next stage, and it's like, man, I don't want to hear that shit. I want to move on. You know, it's like, get that out of my mind and move on.
Actually,
I'm the only girl.
Yeah.
I'm the only girl with like, I don't know, 25 guys. I mean, it's just our local match, 25 guys, and I'm one girl. So of course everybody knows who I am, and I try to keep straight who everybody else is, but I stand out because I'm the only girl. So then they're all like, you know, what happened? I mean, I had people texting me on Sunday, what happened? Because they saw the scores. I'm like,
Don't answer.
Had an off day.
Don't. Yeah,
I had a bird that pooped on me at stage 2. Screwed me the rest of the match.
They're like, well, but what happened? And I'm like, I want to say, I just shot shitty once. I mean, it just, I don't know. It just happened.
There's actually, I shot 2 different matches with actually one of your teammates, new teammates, Jackie Q.
Yeah.
She shot, what was it? It was nationals like 2 years ago, and we shot together. Literally, stage 1, she goes to put on her muffs, and her muff breaks. And I saw it, and I actually had another pair of pro ears behind me, and I just like handed it to her, like put it on her, and she was like, "Oh, I'm good to go." And she never dropped the line. And then I think it was another year, maybe nationals.
Trying to get yourself a shooting chick there, Dustin A, with the pro ears smooth.
Hey, yeah, gotta have the pro ears,
Yeah.
They're actually Sagan's pink pro ears, so.
They matched.
Yeah, they're matched. But she was with I was squatted with her again, and she was with a whole bunch of girls. Like the IDPA did like a whole squad of girls, and yeah, they were doing that. Oh, and she was like, "No, girls, let's go, let's shoot. We're shooting guns now. We're doing things."
Too many people want to jump on board the pity potty, and you've got to. And it's not just women shooters, dude. I mean, it happens all the time. You know, it's like your best bros are always the ones that will be like, "Oh, dude, God, that sucked. Saw you had an entire magazine at that Texas Star," or, "Oh man, you missed the timing on that drop turn," and it's like, dude, I forgot about that shit the second it happened. I don't want to mess with it anymore. I don't want to replay it over and over again. I don't want to talk about it. I definitely don't want to write a book about it, and I don't want to see a fucking movie about it. Just move on. I'm done. We're moving on. So I mean, sometimes you got to be
shooting a match with Tim. Don't ask him shit. All right, just shoot your match.
Stand back.
Yeah.
I think I'd like to shoot with you though, Tim, because I go shoot and I come out. I don't want to relive it.
Right.
I just don't.
Because nothing you can do. Nothing you can do.
I can't make it come back.
Like Pat Kelly. I think Pat Kelly fails the best. And not saying Pat Kelly fails, but when he does, he's just like, he talks to himself. You hear him yelling at the whole match. He'll be like, "Oh, that was stupid. Oh, that sucked. Oh, this is good." So
Only
by the
few
end of the
people are
stage,
good at
it's
that,
already done. It's all done by the end of the stage, and you just walk back. You're like, "Good job, Pat."
Yeah. All right, here I had this one here on the queue, and I want to know if you know anything about it. Lena Michalik posted a picture of a clear frame 320.
Okay.
Is this in the plans, or is this kind of like a prototype, kind of novelty, once in a lifetime?
No, it's not even a shootable grip frame. That actually came from when the P250, the actual double action only hammer fired gun, which was the first modular P-series pistol that Sig did. It was kind of an armorer's grip frame that was kind of just to be able to showcase the modularity and what the fire control unit looks like and all that good stuff. That thing is so brittle that if you were to shoot probably more than about a magazine through it, you'd probably break that thing. So it simply was just I think something that she got a hold of, was able to just throw an FCU in her slide on it and take a picture of it, and hey, this looks pretty cool. But yeah, unfortunately, it's not going to be anything right. It's a no-go.
It's a no-go on that. There you go. For those who are interested
You
in
never
that
know.
stuff.
Sig does have 1,001 different designs for each of their models too. So I swear. I swear I go through 238s and 938s like they're water, and everybody and their brother wants a different one. I'm like, how many versions of this thing do they have? This one has a gray switch, and this one has a Scorpion, so it's FDE, and this one's Equinox, and this one's a scroll thing, and this one's it's mind-boggling.
This one's got a blue slide. This one's got a pink slide. This one's got a purple slide. Yeah.
The one I think it's the Equinox that they it's black, and then all the high ridges they shined them off.
Right.
So it's kind of a two-tone.
I like that one.
Yeah, that one's a pretty sharp little guy.
Yeah, that's pretty sharp. All right, we got some Q&A here from Moneypenny. What are your goals in the shooting industry? Sticking to USPSA, picking up other sports, Bianchi, Steel Challenge, etc.
My goals primarily are USPSA. I would say probably next on that list, I started to dabble a little bit in NRA Action Pistol last year and actually enjoy it. The funny thing was Bruce Gray kind of gave me a little tidbit of advice. He called it, NRA Action Pistol is like it's USPSA with the fun removed, which is because there's no footwork, there's no you get 6 shots in the gun, everything's stand and shoot. It's a lot of fun though. I mean, it's very, very accuracy oriented only. The part times are pretty easy for a USPSA or even an IDPA shooter to be able to shoot the stages in the right part times, but I mean the intensity on accuracy is pretty awesome, and it definitely has made me a better USPSA shooter. I would like to shoot more of that. Unfortunately, in Kansas City, we don't really have a big IDPA club or a big following of IDPA, so it's kind of been pretty unattainable for me to really shoot a lot of IDPA stuff unless I would have to travel outside of the city to shoot at. And unfortunately, my biggest interest is USPSA. So.
Yeah, I know that was my home range for a little bit. Was in Columbia, Missouri. Was Green Valley where
Bianchi's held. Yeah.
And most people shoot I think it's the week or maybe 2 weeks before is a Flag Cup in KC.
Right, the Flagler Cup. I shot that last year.
No, my first time shooting, I was like, first off, I shot the barricade the first thing, and I see these targets moving, and there's no noise. I'm like, what's happening? Why are you shooting? Why did you shoot that? Okay. So yeah, I think I missed my 6th shot. I think I got 5 on paper, and 3 were off to the whole side. But yeah, it's definitely a humbling match. You're like, this is stupid. I'm standing still. I'm shooting. It's not a big deal. And yeah, the part times were nothing. I would shoot, and I would get done, and I'd holstered already, and there's somebody taking their 2nd shot. I'm like, what the hell are you doing?
Exactly.
Probably the people.
Yeah, and then I get the targets back, and I'm like, oh, that's why you were. Got it. So I didn't shoot too much Bianchi Cup after that, or Action Pistol after that. I'm like, can I just jog in place? Can I move backwards? Can I move forwards? I can actually get my hits then. They'll be somewhere in the black.
There you go. All right. What do we have? We have any on Facebook? Nothing coming in there?
We about covered it all on there.
On different matches, Dale said, what's your thoughts on Steel Challenge?
Oh, yeah.
I've never shot any Steel Challenge. We've got a local club here in Kansas City, Mill Creek Rifle Range, and Mill Creek Practical Shooters, and they actually do now. I want to say the third Saturday of the month or whatever here locally. They do the full 8-stage Steel Challenge stuff. And unfortunately, just last year, my schedule was so busy shooting so much USPSA, I didn't even get a chance to go over and shoot any Steel Challenge with them. But that's something else I wouldn't mind dabbling into, especially since it's just it's available to me. I show up to a range that's 30, 40 minutes away from me, and give me another excuse to pull the trigger. So it's definitely something I'll probably dip a toe in the water with this year.
There you go. Last question on my side is, well, we talked about that actually. Any 2016 shooting goals, projects, or events coming up?
Right now, my biggest focus, of course, I've gotten the single stack major gun out again, and getting ready and primed and ready and training wise for single stack nationals, which is in May. So I would like to make a good showing there. I'm confident I can. It's just a matter of kind of what we were talking about earlier about head games and people wanting to talk about stage challenges and things like that. And I just need to not play head games with myself like I did last year and just do, go there and do what I know how to do. So I've got every opportunity to do as well as I know I can there. I wouldn't mind maybe working and earning another GM card in another division, possibly production or like I think the funnest challenge to me would be maybe to make GM and limited, but shooting my single stack stuff. So just why not? I think it'd be kind of cool. So, but that's just kind of one of those things that's like doesn't really. Obviously, it's not going to make or break me whether I do or not. But I just think it'd be kind of one of those fun 2016 goals to do. So.
There you go. All right, man. Well, I think we're good here. Maybe some more training classes coming up. Like you said, if you're interested in that stuff, contact him on Facebook. What is it? Tim Herron Shooting. We'll have links down in the description below if you're watching this after.
Yep.
And if you just happen to have his personal Facebook, I'm sure you can hit him up there.
Definitely.
Also, maybe go over to Hopkins Shooting. You can send an email to Hopkins, say, dude, I don't want you to train me. I want Tim. I'm sure he'll get a hold of Tim. Or you can do like a collaboration class or something. All right?
Yep.
So we'll do that. Also, check out what's your Facebook page is Tim Herron Shooting 2. No, YouTube channel. So if you guys, he did a good video that I posted as a trailer on dry fire, trigger control, and some drills you can do to help your control, etc. So it's a really good. And I think even if you're a GM, you still can benefit from that drill. Trigger control is a perishable skill, so good stuff. I'm actually going to use that drill, the white wall drill.
Awesome. Also, once in a while, put some fun, like cool videos up there too, like splitting a card. I did that not too long ago, which was pretty neat. Actually, that one garnered a little bit of attention from guys like Travis Tomasi and Patrick Kelly. Actually, kind of reached out to me and was like, "Holy shit, that was the coolest thing!" So that was pretty neat to do.
You gonna do the selfie plate rack now?
Man, I was going to just because John McClane did it, and then he kind of put a little challenge out there towards me. And then Keith Garcia goes out and mows it down. I'm like, I
think everybody was like, I'm done now.
Yeah. Damn it.
You can't do that. You can't tag Keith right away. You gotta let some other guys.
Let him get some momentum, and although his video is gone, it's like off of Facebook.
It was funny. The first comment I saw, because I saw Keith posted it, and I kind of scrolled down a little bit, and the first one was Terren, and it said "dick." That was it.
Yeah.
And then it comes up.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, what a dick. I'm like, oh,
well,
that's a compliment coming from Terren. So.
Yeah. There was another one where people were starting a unloaded chamber with a mag. Okay.
Right.
And just
table strats.
Yeah.
Right, and then so it got around to a couple guys, and they were just doing it regular way. And then Keith goes on there, does some whiz-bang wizardry, right? And then it's then it was over. It's like, shit, that's the way to do it. And if you can beat that
Keith
time.
kills social media challenges.
Yeah.
You can't be around social media.
It seems like it's been like that's the big thing for 2016 is somebody posts some weird dry fire or some off-the-wall shooting challenge, and it's like, okay, then 200 people got to beat it until Keith gets in there. And then everybody else is like, screw this, we're done.
So you can just go back to dumping ice water buckets over.
He would dump like a dump truck on him or something. We're like, great, Keith.
Yeah, he'd have to one up everybody.
I always did my unloaded mag starts like that though. Even in IDPA in the last match, they were like, "For you gamers, you got to start with the magazine over here." I'm like, "Well, what the fuck's?" It's not gaming, dude. I don't get it. I don't get the IDPA guys. They're like, for you gamers, your mag's got to be all the way on the other side of the table. I'm like, if I'm smart enough to do it that way and the other guys aren't, then what's the big deal?
Pretty much. That's like there was a match that I was at recently, and I can't remember what they said, like hands or gun on the table. I'm like, well, where do my hands have to be? Well, it doesn't say. I was like, okay, so I'm like,
hands hovering right over the gun,
hovering right over, like fingertips on the table, like this, ready to go, and they're like, Jen, you can't do that. I'm like, why?
I
can't.
It's just like sitting in a chair or something, like your butt cheek, like this much of your butt cheek touches the chair.
Yeah.
I'm like, My butt is on the chair. I'm just hovering, so you better hit that buzzer
Exactly.
quick.
Your legs are already like supporting your weight.
Yeah.
I'm doing a
Hey,
squat right here.
we're used to squatting, so we could sit in that position a long time.
Jeez. I don't think you want to do the IDPA thing, Tim. It's a shit like that kind of, burns me up.
Hey,
It's like
you got it.
gotta have.
You're already one of the go fast
Your
guys.
cheeks got to be touching the
Right.
edge of the seat, and it's like, well, you can't do this because it's gamer. I'm like, oh, okay, well, where's the gamer division?
We had a start that was
It is-
hands
it's
on
called
barrel.
Yeah, exactly.
We had one that was like start with your hands on the barrel, and so I started, and I was like literally like turned like this, and they're like, you have to be facing that way. I was like, no, you said my hands have to be on the barrel. I'm like,
Oh man,
I started how I wanted.
here you go. All right, I think we
do what I
can.
want.
I think we can pretty much wrap this one up. When you guys, I'm pretty clear on my end as far as Q&A. Good. Good.
Guys, I had fun. Definitely had a blast hanging out with you guys tonight. I appreciate you having me on the show.
Yeah, definitely. It was an honor to have you on. It's kind of like it had to happen. It kind of happened in a weird way. Some guy tagged me in one of your. I think it was the card splitting post or something like that. It's like, when are you gonna have Tim on the show? I'm like, all right, Tim. When do you want to come on? Yeah, dude, if you guys want to come on, I think people think I aim for celebrities or like these all-star shooters, or you have to be, world champion. It's the shooter's mindset. I don't care, dude. If you shoot, you want to come on, let me know. Reach out to me. We'll do a show. I don't give a shit.
Cool.
So, I wanted to say I met Tim for the first time at SHOT Show, and on the Practical Pistol Show, on camera, he looks like a pretty big, average-sized dude. And it's just the complete opposite. I saw him like, holy shit. I'm like, I'm bigger than this guy. I'm bigger than this guy. This is awesome. It's not.
Wait, are we saying that I'm the tallest person on the panel tonight?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, to put in perspective, I'm 5'5" and weigh about 145 pounds.
Yeah,
So-
so I'm like, holy shit, this guy.
I'm a little dude.
Yeah.
How tall are you, Anthony?
5'7".
Okay, you got me by like a half an inch.
All right, I think we can. I think it's kind of going that way. I think we can.
Oh, it was fine while we were talking about Tim's height, but now that we're talking about your height,
And rock.
it's a whoa, whoa, whoa.
Yeah. All right, shout outs, Dustin. You're in there.
All right. As always, the awesome Springfield Armory, going to have some new stuff coming your guys' way. The Custom Shop, Ryan Spencer Super Space Tactical Guns, GP2 Tactical. X Products, use Dustin10 to get you 10% off. Tactical Shit for all your tactical shit needs. TSN10 for that guy. Comtech Holsters, use Dustin1 to get 10% off there. Dissonant Arms, maybe some cool stuff coming from those guys. They make all your communist needs. All the big namers are going to be using their the Dissonant Arm Vepr. BBI Bullets, Black Nitride the World, H&M, because Black Nitride matters, RCA, Bolt Carry Group, that I got to test out. Pro Ears, Vortex, J. Dewey Rods, Shooter Ready, Red Roof Inn, Greg Skaz, there you go, Photography, he's the biggest name, get him while it's hot. S3F Solutions, Tula Ammo, and check me out on all the social medias. We'll be doing some giveaways and stuff once everything gets into me, then I can give it out to the publics. So.
All right. There you go. Shit, that was a long list.
Yeah. Oh, actually, sorry. Uno mas, but it's for cans. So I know everybody likes silencers and stuff. So there's a link on my page, and I'll probably repost it up. It's American Manufacturing. Newer company out there, but he's been doing it for a bajillion years. And we might be giving away some silencers. So how cool is that? Everybody's like silencers.
Yeah, everybody likes those. Jen, what do you got?
All right, Savannah River Armory for rifle needs, load-up ammunition, Shooters of Augusta and Sharpshooters of Augusta, Terran Tactical for an awesome John Wick Combat Master pistol, Blade Tech, Lucas Oil, Samson Manufacturing, Vortex, and TacticalLife.net. What'd you say?
I was like, geez. We got to get a list going here,
Oh,
man.
I don't want to hear it. You have a lot more than me, and you have a little black book you have to keep straight.
I don't shout them all out though. I conserve the time for the guests and stuff. So we're gonna do Tim. What do you got for shout-outs?
Great Guns, Sig Sauer, Blade Tech, Lucas Oil, ESS Eyewear, 511, and of course my wonderful Practical Pistol Show co-hosts Ben Steger and Matt Hopkins and Nick Yanatola. And also would like to thank Tim Myers and the Ben Steger Pro Shop. So definitely.
When can we catch that show? I know they're doing a one-a-week format now. Is it going to be
We're going to do a one a week, is what Ben told everybody the other night, and I think they're going to drop every Thursday, I believe is what he said. So
there you go. So if you're looking forward to that stuff, every Thursday on Ben's channel. I believe it's Ben Stoker. Just type that in there and you'll get it. All right, there you go. Shout out to my end. Just want to thank Tim. Thanks for coming on, man. Spending some like 2 hours. I usually say it's a little bit more than that of your time with us here.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, man. We'll do it again shortly. Just let me know whenever you want to come on. Cool. Tactical shit. Subscribe to the channel right underneath this video. You see a subscribe button. Hit that button every Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern. We do a new episode of The Shooter's Mindset. If you want to email me, theshootersmindset@gmail.com. Guest suggestions, whatever. You want to say my show sucks, you can email me too. Rise Armament, Dewey Rods, they have their new field kit. It's shipping this month, so everybody needs kind of like a portable field kit. Just put it in your bag. Boom. You don't have to carry these long rods or anything like that. It doesn't even sound right. But long rods in your backpack for the range, now they have a nice portable kit. Techwear USA, Rand CLP, carbon arms for your caddy needs, AR needs. Man, they have some. If you're shooting FN, they have some base pads. One of the only companies that I know that have base pads for FNH style pistols. Snag Mag, if you're concealed holsters. Nate Square Tactical, fantastic inside the waistband holster, carried about the 4 o'clock position. It's really nice. Terran Tactical Innovations and S3F Solutions. I'll be running their barrels this season. All right, so good stuff. That'll do it for episode 123 of The Shooter's Mindset. Thank you guys for joining us, and we'll see you on the next one. Let me switch screens, click off, boom.